And at the end of the national anthems now, the Argentine marching band will leave the field. And both of these teams getting through on 4 points to the quarterfinals, 4 points being 2 wins. So they lost one of their games. The Mexican team lost their first game. And now we'll introduce the players. Gustavo Garcia at number 1 for Brazil. Number 2, William Rodriguez. And at number 3, Renato Junqueira for Brazil.
This will be followed by the Mexican team. And at number 1, Julio Gracida. Again, part of this Gracida Polo family. At number 2, Valerio Aguilar. Again, both Gracida and Aguilar playing off 5 goals. And at number 3, the man who needs very little mention, Carlos Gracida. Again, playing off of 6 goals, but being a former 10-goal player. We're at the second semi or quarterfinal stage here at the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. Defending champions Hong Kong China are through, having defeated the United States in a penalty shootout. Mexico now to face Brazil in this second and final match of today's play. Again, I think we can anticipate an equally exciting quarterfinal here with Brazil versus Mexico.
Well, look, Tori, the Mexican team have gone from strength to strength. They lost their very first game here on the snow way back at the beginning of last week, and the next game they got a little bit better. Carlos started to understand the snow a little bit more and got used to his ponies. And then the last game, it was actually quite a commanding win for the Mexican team. But the ball's now being thrown in, and the ball is with Mexico, and it is Aguilar backing it across to the number 3, Carlos Garcia. Big neck shot towards the goal mouth. Good little approach shot, but still a long way out from home. Now, near side required there for Brazil. Rodriguez brings it around. William Rodriguez now keeps the ball. Nearly hooked out of it by Julio Garcia. Now Carlos waiting for the right time to play the back shot. Couldn't quite get it. And it's Junqueira for Brazil taking it around the long way. Junqueira still got to get past Aguilar of Mexico. Now keeps it alive, tries to keep the ball out in front. Who's going to clear it here? Julio Garcia does, but there's no one there because all of Mexico is pushing forward in attack, in defense. Now it'll be Julio Garcia claiming the line. Gustavo Garcia with the ball, the number 1 for Brazil, backing, coming off the chest of the Mexican horse for Aguilar. Oh, gets the ball out of the top of the bounce, but it's gone a little bit to the right, which is putting it into the far pocket of the field, making it very hard for Mexico to score from here. Can Julio keep the ball forward now? It is Junqueira backing it, comes off the chest of Carlos Gracida's pony, and the ball has gone out over the back line.
For those playing number 2 for Brazil, William Rodriguez, for some of our polo enthusiasts, also a member of the Sao Paulo team that figures prominently in some of the more popular medium goal tournaments in South America.
Very strong, the Sao Paulo team, and a lot of that would be thanks to this guy, but there, unlucky bounce for Brazil. Oh, doesn't look good for Mexico here. The whistle's gone, and it looks like it might be Julio Garcia has copped the mallet on the elbow or on his arm in the follow-through. He was in front of Rodriguez when he hit that ball. And if we just have a look at the replay, you'll see Julio Garcia there, and the mallet has come up and hit him in the arm after he's hit the ball. And he is in all sorts of trouble out there.
He's trying to ride that injury off. Again, fortunately, every team has a reserve player. In this instance, for Mexico, Diego Solorzano.
Oh, it's hit him on the forearm, I think. And he's waving his arm. It's not broken. He says, I know you didn't mean to. It's okay, my friend. Just don't do it again.
Camaraderie between these two teams.
Ball's been thrown in, and it's now come out with Rodriguez for Brazil on the attack. Opens the shoulders. Can't get it. The ball spins on the spot. Gets a bit of a doesn't hit the ball cleanly now. Gracida leaves it behind for Aguilar of Mexico. Brings the ball around, gets past Junqueira. Big ride off Junqueira on Aguilar, but Aguilar comes up with the ball now. Garcia backs it across. Who's first one onto it? Rodriguez now for Brazil. Gets hooked out of it by Carlos Gracida. The white helmet, the famous white helmet of Carlos Gracida. Back shot now by Aguilar. Junqueira for Brazil, spinning on the spot. Now, I hear solo, which means they're selling Julio Gracida to take it himself. But he's being hard ridden by Junqueira of Brazil. Near side, Rodriguez, and umpires blowing the foul.
Looks like a foul against Brazil. Mexico claiming possession.
So, Tori, you might not see here. Big ride off on the boards. Back shot there by Garcia of Brazil. But it's very difficult to tell the line. But you'll notice with Carlos Gracida, you'd never see him in this snow polo. He's been very cool and calm, and you don't see him rushing around and doing, you know, difficult plays. He thinks about his polo so much and puts his horse into the right position all the time.
He is a true veteran and leader on the field. Just overlooking the field, I see Julio Gracida, his nephew, still grasping his forearm. Hopefully he'll have no lasting injury from that inadvertent hit with a mallet. But Carlos Gracida taking his first penalty for Mexico.
Hits it pretty cleanly, and
it goes to the left, however.
Judge, yeah, saying it's gone wide.
And therein lies, you know, the issue with hitting it high. As we spoke earlier, you're saying the wind catches that really light ball and can hook it left or right of the goal mouth.
It's the better of two evils, I suppose. And here we go now with Brazil on the attack, but not being able to convert now. Nice back shot there by Julio Gracida. Doesn't seem to be affected by the injury to his arm. And now Rodriguez for Brazil was looking to turn it, but a very quick ride in there by Carlos Gracida forced him to back that ball across. And now it's Rodriguez looking to hit the ball up to Garcia and Junqueira of Brazil. Junqueira gets to it, but it's not enough, and Aguilar of Mexico backs it now. Bit of a melee. Carlos Gracida backs it. Unlucky for him, hits the shoulder of the pony in front of him. Now Julio Gracida hits it big, but it's gone wide to the right. Again, got a little bit of curve on that. And it will be Rodriguez bring it in from the back line after we have a look at this replay.
Carlos Gracida playing the man off that ball, giving Julio a shot on goal.
Junqueira now. And Garcia peels around behind him and takes the ball around behind Aguilar of Mexico. He hits it quite high, and it's gone up into the crowd. So
up into the second tier of our marquee here.
There you go.
Both players trying to assert themselves early in this match. A lot of it being played in the Mexico half of the field.
Rodriguez is it. It is the _1, Garcia for Brazil, just keeping the ball on the end of his stick, but he's still got to get past Carlos Gracida, who watches, intently watches it. Goes over the, oh, looks like it's goal time for Brazil. Carlos Gracida was very happy to watch that go over the back line, and you'll see here he is. Garcia weaves his way through, only one to beat, but it is Carlos Gracida. So he sets the ball up, and then he just slips around in behind Carlos and just pops it through the goal. So great goal there for Brazil to open the account.
I think he caught Gracida by surprise with that goal.
Well, exactly. I think Carlos didn't expect him to do that, but oh, and Carlos not being able to convert there, came off his pony's leg.
And Mexico quickly trying to counterattack after that Brazil goal.
At the other end of the field, he needed that one to go through to stay in it, and with 30 seconds sounding on the shot clock, it's now Brazil up by 1 and on the attack, but well inside their defending half. Gracida turns the ball, probably 40 yards out from goal now. Still a long way wide to the left. Big ride off there by Junqueira. Now who's there? Julio Gracida backs it towards the... It doesn't get enough distance on it. It pops up in the air. Now Julio Gracida gets another shot at it. The hand is up, and they've equalised right on the hooter. And he's still clutching at that arm, so he's taken one for the team.
It looks like that just went to the left, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, actually, no, I'd stand corrected. It did go through.
You watched Chris Bethel's arm was up. The umpire, they saw it clearly. And it was a goal to equalise for Mexico.
And Brazil, I think, very lucky during that first chuck of this quarterfinal. The ball was entirely on the Brazil half for most of that chukker. So we're at 1-1 in the second quarterfinal at the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. We'll take a short break and return to more action. And welcome back to the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup at the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin. Some of our younger spectators here. We're at the 16-goal Snow Polo World Cup. 12 nations started over a week ago. We're down to 7 with Hong Kong, China advancing to the semifinals with a penalty shootout victory against the United States. I'm Tori Dorsey with Adam Buchert. We're at midfield here for the second quarterfinal. Brazil and Mexico at 1 apiece after one chukker. So far, both teams just feeling out each other. No one, well, all even after one chukker.
Yeah, very close first chukker, Tori, and here we go now. Ball's been thrown in, and the first one to get that ball is Garcia out of the lineup, but he couldn't do much with it. He got the first hit, but now he's being hard ridden here by Aguilar of Mexico. Still comes up with the ball. Who'll turn onto it first? It's Junqueira of Brazil. He's going to have to take the long way around Garcia with Gracida, I should say, with a lovely approach shot. Gets a lovely near side on it, but it's gone very wide. Can he? Oh, he's hit it cleanly, but Carlos Gracida's horse just blocking it there, and it doesn't go it does go over the back line, I should say. We've got a near side here. Probably didn't need to get that much angle on the near side play. And he had one more neck shot, which he does get, but then it hits the shoulder of Gracida's pony.
So even though it came off the Gracida pony, it was carried out by the Mexican team. Mexico takes possession there.
Yeah, because Carlos didn't play at the ball with his mallet. If it had touched his mallet, it would have been like a corner shot for soccer, but from directly in front of the goal. So in soccer, if the defending team kicks the ball out over the back line, they give you a corner. In a snow polo, if the defending team hits it out over the back line, they'll give you a 30-yard shot at goal.
Back to live action here.
Valerio Aguilar for Mexico, clearing it now across the field. Rodriguez on the grey pony backs it into the strike zone here. Danger for Mexico, but Carlos Gracida's horse just kicks the ball. Luck is on his side here today, and it is Junqueira for Brazil, backing it down the line, looking for Rodriguez to turn onto it, who didn't read it all that well. Probably saving his pony there, didn't want to turn the pony too sharp, but the lovely little play from Aguilar to Gracida. Big back shot by Rodriguez on the grey now. Who's going to get back there first? The ponies are running now back. It's Garcia in going back in attack, but he was well ridden out of it by Aguilar of Mexico. Now Rodriguez backing it for Brazil, looking for his number one. Unlucky bounce off the pony of Aguilar. Aguilar takes it forward now, appealing for a hook or for a foul. Here he goes, the number 3, Junqueira for Brazil, running it through off a lovely back shot there. And now it is Aguilar who's got a sore arm.
An aggressive play from Brazil to start their second chukker.
I think we've found their tactic, Tori. I think they're going to try and outmuscle the Mexicans. And you can see here Aguilar appealing for a penalty. Yeah, but in doing so, Brazil have run the ball in and the umpires have given them the wave. So it is now 2-1 in favour of Brazil.
Brazil definitely looking as if they've taken play to a different level, up another notch to start this second chukker.
Yeah, the Mexican team is very smooth, so I think they're just saying, well, if they're going to play this sort of tactic, we're going to go and have to try and outmuscle them. Unlucky the opportunity there for Brazil, because Junqueira was free there. If he'd been able to get hold of that ball, it was going to be goal time. But here he is, the man Carlos Gracida now running into the deep pocket of this attacking end of his field, and it's Brazil now defending well. Here he goes, lovely little shot by Junqueira up to Rodriguez. He's up to halfway now on the grey. He's a long way out from the goal, and he's had to neck shot it across, and he does so, but very well read by Julio Gracida, nephew of Carlos. Now, Brazil, back shot required, down the board. Here he goes. Junqueira, the number 3, calls Rodriguez off it, looking to hit it to Rodriguez, who's coming through on the fly on the grey horse, but he's still fairly wide. And Carlos Gracida backs it, looking for Julio Gracida. First onto the line is the number 1, Garcia for Brazil, hooked out of it by Gracida. Now, penalty has gone, whistle's blown.
And it looks as if it may have been a penalty awarded to Brazil.
You might be right. Let's have a look here. So that's the number 1, Garcia tapping it through. And yeah, I think Junqueira was onto that line pretty quick.
You made mention prior to the start of this game of the pony ridden by William Rodriguez, Aztec there, the grey there.
Aztec was the one of the ponies. That's the pony he chose for the penalty shootout yesterday morning. A very easy horse to hit off, but it has been very powerful and very agile throughout this whole tournament, and it's been one of his best.
And it will be Rodriguez and Aztec that are taking this penalty from very close to the goal mouth. Should be no foregone conclusion, but assume nothing.
Exactly. They say assumption is the mother of all mistakes. Not about all mistakes.
There still seems to be some discussion. It looks like we've got a change of horses midway through this second chukker.
Yeah, it looks that way, that the maybe 2 of the Mexican players have asked to change their pony. The umpire's gone back, so maybe there is an injury, or when one of the umpires rides back with the players, it means that the change has been sanctioned.
And certainly the horses, it is common knowledge, horses making up 75 to 80% of this game, and you're always looking to protect the interest of the horse.
Definitely. I think that there's a strong contingent of New Zealand and Australian ponies in the pony lines here at the Metropolitan Polo Club, and I think you'd find that, horses like Aztec, that grey out there, probably come off the racetrack at some stage. A lot of the polo ponies in Australia and New Zealand come off the racetrack. Argentina, not so much. They breed big numbers themselves. They're a different style of horse, and probably the smaller, handier horses, or when I say the not so thoroughbred types, can be quite effective in these snow and arena environments.
You made mention of this string of ponies coming from down under. The polo director here at the Metropolitan Polo Club being Derek Reed, also a prominent player from Australia, I believe represented Australia in international competition. Numerous times.
Very good polo player, and knows his horses, and he's done a very good job of getting these 300-odd ponies here together for the club, and they have certainly helped to provide some amazing polo here in the week till now. Now, the other good thing that's going to make this polo get quicker and more interesting as we go along, Tori, is that some of these ponies that have played this week with the 4 teams that have now left the competition. So there's, when the Australian team, the Canadian team, the South African team and the Spanish team leave, they put those ponies back into the pool, and the remaining teams then have another draw, and they can choose, or they get to pick through the horses that are drawn out for them, and see, because some of those may be better than the ones they currently have. So it makes the polo a little bit stronger. And I think they've gone to the ambulance here for Julio
Gracida. Yeah, we see a shot there of the Mexican team. They've gone into the players' room. That's Carlos Gracida in the door, the entry there. So it looks like there is some discussion or concern about the health and welfare of Julio Gracida?
From playing a lot of polo myself, you know, if you get a knock on that forearm, especially when you're in a defensive position, your mallet's in the air, it can hit you right on that the bone that runs from your elbow to your wrist, and it looks like their spare, the number 4 shirt is on, so it looks like
Diego Solezano.
that's it. He's coming on. So
it looks, and there you have a clear shot of Julio Gracida.
Yep.
Taking off his gloves and nursing that arm. It's obviously he's in a lot of pain.
You know, I've seen Julio play a lot of polo, and he's one tough customer. So for him to be out there and grimacing like that, I'm going to put it out there, it could be a break. He could have a broken arm because it's a very... There's our Peter Bushnagarden, the
tournament director, asking the cameras to leave the players' room. Again, the Brazilian team still waiting patiently on the field. We would never want, you know, anything like this to happen to any players. You can see Solezano warming up before coming out into the chill of winter here in Tianjin. We're going to look back at the action thus far.
Great shot there by the Rodriguez up to the seam, and then, but unfortunately hitting, look at there on the arm, you can see he hurt straight away. This is going to be a great shot here to see exactly where it's connected with him, and instantly he's dropped the mallet, he's dropped the reins, and you know, the follow through is what got him, and it has really hurt. So these mallets are, you know, 150, 160 centimeters long. So there's, and you know, that with his arm, the striker's arm, you know, it can stretch out a long way. And if you're in that strike zone, or the follow through doesn't go entirely straight, it can really hurt. And you do get quite a few broken bones, these players, with thumbs and wrists, and another one that you get in on grass polo is the elbow, because you're in looking over your shoulder and they hit the ball, and the hard plastic ball from the grass polo can collect you right on the end of the elbow, and you see that quite often.
These the mallets also have quite a bit of flexibility, being cane, and can come through like a whip. Exactly. Really.
Yes.
So there we see Diego Solezano.
Diego Solezano.
He's going to be replacing Julio Gracida, who was injured in this second chukker of this second quarterfinal here. Brazil leading 2-1. Brazil has a penalty shot from very near the goal mouth.
Look at the steely determination in Solezano's eyes. He's ready to go. He's been looking for this all week. He's been very keen and eager to get out on the snow. He probably would have liked to have got out here with a little bit more preparation.
So Diego Solezano at 4 goals. He's replacing Julio Gracida, who was at 5 goals. I don't think there'll be a real disadvantage of any sort in this play.
The only disadvantage he's going to have is that Julio has been playing these horses all the way through, and he's probably, you know, he's used to them a little bit, whereas Solezano hasn't had that as much time on their backs. But you know, 4 goals. He was 7 goals. I think he got to 6 goals in the United States. Used to go to play a lot of polo in Palm Beach. I think he now plays polo as well as has like an art fund. He provides investors with opportunities to buy art in Mexico, and he's based in Mexico City, and one of the highest rated players down there in Mexico City, and he won't let Mexico down at all. He's a character. He's a very good guy, and I think he'll be an asset here for the Mexican team.
We have all 6 players back on the field. Brazil to take this penalty shot. We're at 2:31 remaining in the second chukker of this quarterfinal match. Brazil leading Mexico 2-1. Hong Kong, China through to the semifinals, having defeated the United States in a penalty shootout in our first quarterfinal today. This is the second of 2 matches that we'll be televising live.
Don Pennycook from Canada with some of the English players, Max Rutledge and Richard Lepore. Alan Kent, the coach, on the right with the beanie on. But Don Pennycook, president of the Canadian Polo Association, here. No one more disappointed when Canada was knocked out yesterday, Tory, than Don Pennycook, I can tell you.
You see Solorzano, they're giving him a chance to get accustomed to his pony, to strike the ball a few times.
Stretch.
Indeed. I think he's been sitting for most of the week, as you said. Solorzano now on the pitch, and we're ready to resume this quarterfinal match.
I hear a couple of the Mexicans in the stands going, "Vamos, Diego!" I don't think they were Brazilians that were screaming that.
No, but I think these two teams have a lot of respect for each other. I know that there's a little bit of a friendly, I don't know, hostility between the Brazilians and the Argentinians at the moment.
Yes. No, that's just hostility. I don't know if that's friendly hostility.
And there's a goal there from Brazil to take it 3-1. I think that was a foregone conclusion, being so close to the goal mouth.
Yes.
But Brazil now ahead 3-1. Carlos Gracida bringing the ball back out to resume action.
So Diego Solorzano's been sent straight to Junqueira of Brazil, because he's the danger man, and until he gets his bearings, they'll probably say, right, just take him out of the play and we'll be okay. But now Carlos Gracida backing it. Solorzano halfway between men there, so the ball now with Rodriguez on the grey Aztec, and it's Aguilar, Valerio Aguilar for Mexico. Takes the man, leaves the ball. Now, first one onto the line, Carlos Gracida. In the strike zone now, Diego Salazar. Will he be the first to score here? Ball's been left for him, he hits it cleanly, but it's gone wide to the left. And it'll be now Garcia for Brazil cleaning up, just getting it over to the boards, maybe getting a deflection, but it's gone out, and we will have a throw-in on the far side.
Okay, 1 minute, or just over a minute remaining in the second chukker of 4. Mexico looking to close the gap against Brazil. Diego Solorzano replacing Julio Gracida, who suffered an unfortunate injury.
Lucky there for Solorzano to not get the hook, but Rodriguez now takes it up the boards. Big neck shot, big right off there, Aguilar onto Garcia, and Gracida now bringing the ball around for Mexico. Still got enough time to go from here, but probably wants to get a little bit better angle to the goal mouth. Big right off there by Garcia, and he hits it across the goal mouth. It goes out over the back line. And Brazil now with 36 seconds left on the clock will get one more attacking play, one opportunity to get it out of their goal mouth, and see if they can score at the other end to make it 4-1. But while they're there, we go. What a goal! Attempted goal by Aguilar. A big back shot there, but it doesn't quite go where he wants it. Diego Solorzano leaves it behind, and whistle goes. The Brazilians appealing for a foul there with 6 seconds left on the clock.
Carlos Gracida coming across the line there. You can see him just coming into your camera.
Yeah, Solorzano. White helmet got you.
With 6 seconds remaining, Brazil will have a chance to strike this ball upfield. Very little time left on the clock there.
Unlucky bounce. If the Mexican team had seen where it went, they may have had an opportunity to score, but the hooter will go. And it's now 3-1. Brazil with a 2-goal advantage, and Mexico a man down, but Solorzano, Diego Solorzano is on the field, the reserve, and we'll go to the break with 2-goal difference to Brazil.
And welcome back to the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. Got some images of some of our younger polo enthusiasts on the wooden horse in the comfort of our VIP marquee. We're at the quarterfinal stage. Hong Kong, China having advanced to the semifinals with a penalty shot win over the United States. We're in the second quarterfinal today. Brazil leading Mexico by 3-1. We started with 12 nations just over a week ago. We're down to 7 in this 16-goal international polo event.
Yeah, that's right, Tori. There was 8 this morning, but one had to go home, and unfortunately it was the United States who lost that first one. But we're now into the second half of the final game here this afternoon, and Mexico, their #1 player, has been injured and has been replaced by Diego Solzano. So Julio Gracida is off the field with a suspected broken arm or an injured arm. And now we have Rodriguez trying to back that ball up the line, picked up by Valerio Aguilar. Aguilar now, next shot across, trying to hit to space or get it to Carlos Gracida, and hasn't been able to do so. So now it's gone over the back line, and it will be Brazil to bring the ball in. Rodriguez bringing the ball in, leaves it behind, unfortunately. This is what we talk about, field position. If you can keep the team down in their defending half, you can get a little bit of luck on this surface and pop the ball through. So now Mexico in a very strong position with Aguilar heading to the boards, looking to back it across the front of the ponies, but can't, got hooked out of it now. Diego Solzano just takes the man out there. Now he's going to go up and try and get the hook on Rodriguez. Rodriguez, though, gets past him and takes the ball forward. Rodriguez now checking up with the ball, gets an unlucky bounce. Gracida's pony kicks it with his back leg, and has been now backed then by the #1 Garcia for Brazil. Lovely shot for Junqueira out of the top of the bounce. Lovely approach on riding hard. There is Rodriguez for Brazil. The goal was begging to be hit, but he couldn't get past Carlos Gracida, and it's now Mexico backing it out of trouble. And Rodriguez with space, turning the ball quickly, trying to get around the other side to get where it was Junqueira who was protecting him from Carlos Gracida. And now Brazil going forward, taking the ball, appealing for the foul is Gracida. And the #1 Garcia is saying, hey, I had the ball, you can't hit across the front of my horse.
The whistle has blown, although that ball did go.
So this is Rodriguez here, who tries to get in behind Aguilar, can't do, leaves the ball behind. So then Carlos Gracida, sorry, that was Diego Solzano there, who then goes in for the big hook, and the whistle goes. And we're just going to work out and see if Garcia actually has been given the penalty, or it's Solzano. But it looks like it'll be against Diego Solzano.
Penalty to Brazil.
And it'll be a penalty to Brazil to go one more in front to make it 4-1.
Certainly Brazil, the more aggressive team in the second half of this game. Mexico needs to find some momentum.
And puts it through. So the crowd, the Brazilians here now getting very vocal. And he runs it through Rodriguez. So he's been having a very strong game so far.
Certainly an exciting year for Brazil, not only here at the Snow Polo World Cup, obviously the Soccer World Cup, as well as the forthcoming Summer Olympic Games.
Exactly.
We're on the snow now.
Lovely shot, Rodriguez out of the top of the bounce now, gets it around, hooked out, nearly hooked out of it there, Aguilar, but he tries to get something on it. Carlos Gracida backs it. Sorry, Diego Solzano backs it to Carlos Gracida, the white helmet. And Carlos Gracida leaves it behind. Near side there by Solzano. But it's going to be Brazil that back it. Looking now to get it onto the stick side of Rodriguez. Aguilar keeps it himself. Carlos Gracida trying to give him some space there and a little bit of protection. Now, decided to go for the back shot through the traffic. Who's first onto the line? Rodriguez is. Rodriguez backs it, and he gets a lovely little shot up to Garcia, the number 1 for Brazil. Brazil now on the attack, but still in their half, meaning that it's Carlos Gracida now for Mexico going forward, and with Mexico with the field position. But now here he is, the number 1 for Brazil, Gustavo Garcia, taking the ball on the black pony. Now he's going to have to go for the near side shot just to see if it'll roll through before Carlos Gracida gets there. Carlos Gracida does keep it out of trouble, and Junqueira for Brazil unable to put that one through, but a timely save for Mexico.
Right off the line by Carlos Gracida. As you can see in the instant replay, the ball was rolling precariously close to the line.
Very close.
Just off the line.
So now it will be Vilario Aguilar taking the ball up the boards. Hard ridden by Rodriguez for Brazil. Mexico need to score. They've got a 3-goal deficit, and that's not going to help the cause as it goes over the back line.
So again, Brazil leading this second quarterfinal 4-1, really making an impact, taking Carlos Gracida, former 10-goaler, out of play. He's trying to supply some leadership to the Mexican team, but Brazil definitely the better of the two at this point of the game.
Junqueira playing very good polo. A hard ride off against Carlos Gracida now. Diego Solzano, the 4-goaler replacement, having a great chucker at the moment. Carlos Gracida leaves it behind due to the pressure and the big ride off there by Gustavo Garcia on Carlos Gracida. Now, Aguilar for Mexico. Junqueira hits it straight up the boards looking for Garcia. This is Garcia for Brazil, but he can't get enough on it, and Carlos Gracida cleans it up. Rodriguez now down the line. He's only got the one shot there. He's going to have to play it back, and Valerio Aguilar just got a little bit ball hungry there and couldn't help himself.
Certainly, and that looks like it'll be called against Mexico. William Rodriguez, claiming possession or the right of way.
And the umpire's agreeing. So they'll give him a spot penalty where infraction occurred.
Possession back to Brazil. 1 minute, just over a minute remaining in this third chukker, a 4-chukker match. William Rodriguez taking the penalty shot.
Doesn't hit it cleanly, and well read there by Carlos Gracida, now getting a deflection off the umpire's pony, and they nearly capitalised on it there, Brazil, but Mexico need to be the next ones to score. Lovely approach shot there by Solzano, clucks that one out of the air. He's having a very good chucker, Solzano, as a replacement for Julio Gracida. Now it is Aguilar keeping the ball in front, but leaves it behind for Carlos Gracida. Can he put it through? Will he be hooked out of it by Brazil? Looks pretty good. It's over the goal. That's what they needed with 30 seconds left on the clock. If they can go into this chucker break with a 2-goal difference, I think Mexico will be very happy with that.
And that's the 30-second bell, but you can see in the instant replay here, Carlos Gracida just controlling the ball all the way to and through the goal mouth for Mexico.
I think the Brazilians probably lost sight of that ball a little bit there. You could see them a little bit bewildered. They were looking, they couldn't see where it was. Not here. Then he taps it, and then they're like, where did it go? And then, it's too late. So, good goal there for Mexico. Now, hit in off the back line for Brazil. And
is that William Rodriguez appealing for a
foul against Solzano, but I don't think it is. I think they're not going to give the foul. I think it's just gone out over the back line. I think he was clear. So he can definitely come down the line when they hit that ball, and as long as he doesn't cross the line in the process. So, big shot here now. Carlos Gracida to back this one. Does so. Lovely. Diego Solzano needed to turn onto that a little bit quicker. Now looking for the back shot. And that's the end of the third chukker, Tori.
After 3 here in the second quarterfinal, we have Brazil still leading Mexico by 2 goals. Again, Carlos Gracida pulling one back in the dying seconds. It looks like Gracida, they're picking up one of the boots from one of the Mexican ponies. We're going to take a short break and we'll return to Tianjin, China for the Snow Polo World Cup. And welcome back to the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup at the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin. I'm Tori Dorsey with Adam Buchert. We're at the quarterfinal stage. Brazil leading Mexico by 4-3, and we both must stand corrected. I think we had we were out of eye shot of the last goal that was scored by Mexico just in the dying seconds of that third chukker.
Well, that's right, Tori. The replacement for Mexico, Diego Solzano, just scored an absolutely brilliant goal. It was, it's a little bit hard to see from this angle, and we thought it had gone wide. I know if we were playing on the grass, you would have seen the players ride back to the centre if they had scored the goal, but we weren't to know, and it's Mexico now in a very strong position. They're only down by 1. They've got the master, Carlos Gracida there, and Solzano, the 4-goaler, playing very, very well.
And we're just over 5 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this second quarterfinal. Brazil with possession at midfield.
Yeah, no, Brazil on the attack now and looking to try and push this difference. A lovely little play forward there by Rodriguez, and the whistle's gone. They're saying that they couldn't take the ball forward because Valerio Aguilar was in the way. But keep your eye out on a horse here that Jun Kira's on, the chestnut pony. It's called GTS, and he did a lot of work on this horse in the last game that they needed to win to get through to these quarters, and it was a very, very good chukker for Brazil when Jun Kira, the number 3, came out on GTS. So
it's a penalty awarded to Brazil.
Yep.
Again, 4-3, looking to extend their lead over Mexico. That's William Rodriguez to take the penalty.
A chestnut mare called Qantas. He hits it cleanly, and the Brazilian crowd go wild. So they go up by 2 now.
Brazil with a vocal support base here.
They do.
In China.
Brazilians always been a very passionate polo country, passionate about any sport, whether it's football, soccer, you name it, they are passionate. So here we go, Diego Solzano comes out with the ball, can't do much with it. Ball gets turned back now for Aguilar of Mexico, who's going to have to back it through the traffic, through the legs of Jun Kira's pony, but it's come up with Carlos Gracida. Lovely approach shot, could be a little bit too much. Can Aguilar back it through the goal? Looks good for Mexico. What a great goal.
And that's a fantastic goal from Valerio Aguilar, the 5-goal player, number 2 position for Mexico. We've got a great...
Look at this here, great play, and Aguilar knew he had that Brazilian player coming hard to his stick side, and he had to get there and play that back shot quickly but calmly. Now look, it's Aguilar again with another back shot straight onto the stick of Carlos Gracida. If he can get the right off, he'll get that through, but he doesn't. Rodriguez, great defense there by Rodriguez for Brazil. Could that defense be the telling sign for the Brazilians? But Carlos Gracida goes for the next shot there, and it goes out over the back line. But solid defense here by Brazil. It is Mexico on the attack, and Brazil now to see if they can increase their lead. They need to get this out past the halfway line. Oh, whistle.
It's an obvious foul against Carlos Gracida.
Thought he might just cheekily get that one, but that wasn't to be. So he was deemed to be across the line and probably shouldn't have played at that. Yeah, just enough in it to be a foul.
So even though that penalty occurred deep in the Brazilian territory, the umpires bring that up just beyond midfield.
That's right, Tori. They will bring that up to the halfway line because that it was deemed that the attacking team were heading towards their goal, and as a result of that foul, they weren't allowed to advance. So then the umpires pick the ball up and move it up to halfway for them.
So Brazil to take this penalty shot to start the latter half of this fourth chukker.
Not where they wanted to go, into that far left-hand corner. It's very difficult to score from out there. You need to get it into that strike zone in the middle. Great little cut shot there by Carlos Gracida. Will Diego Solzano get to it? He's been ridden out of it by Rodriguez now. Rodriguez turns on the line. Valerio Aguilar comes forward and keeps the ball. Now if he gets a lucky bounce, which he does, it's Valerio Aguilar with 2 lengths on it, but leaves the ball behind. Now, little one, Gustavo Garcia. Can't do much. Solzano rides the pony in there. Gets a lucky bounce for Mexico now. Takes the ball around, trying to get past Garcia. Gustavo Garcia. Then he leaves it now. Aguilar taking the ball forward for Mexico. Will it be goal time? Can the Carlos Gracida back it through? He goes for 2 shots. Will it be a goal? There it does for Aguilar. It's goal time for Mexico. And they have equalised. And the Brazilians are shell-shocked.
And that is great teamwork.
It is great teamwork.
The Mexican team. I think every player had a touch on the ball there.
Yep. A lot of hard work on the boards there by Diego Solzana. Then a lovely hit by Aguilar across to Carlos Gracida, who just keeps it there in front of the goal mouth. And Aguilar, who was coming out out of the goal mouth, could back it straight through. So equaliser, and Mexico now with a little bit of momentum, and Brazil starting to question their methods. And now we have Rodriguez loose with being trailed by Aguilar, who's going to look for the hook. Can't get the hook, but he does get the hook. The ball stays behind now. Solzano on Garcia. Ball comes through. Good bounce there by Solzano, who tries to play the near side. Can't do it. And now Rodriguez retreating backwards. Now trying to say, I've got the line. And the whistle goes.
And that looks from this angle as if it'll be a penalty called against Diego Solzano, but I must question, he was holding the ball there.
Yeah.
And you know, is that going to be considered as in?
It's just how they view that play right there. Whether Valerio Aguilar had to leave that and allow the player to hit that ball before Solzano came in is probably what they've thought. But now it is Rodriguez for Brazil. 1 minute left on the clock. Are we going, Tori, into another penalty shootout here in the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup for 2014? We're in the quarterfinals, and at the moment it's Mexico with all the deck stacked against them, but they are playing a great game of polo here. Mexico now on the attack. Aguilar hits it up. Rodriguez is now going to have to defend for his life, for their polo life. And GTS has spun around, and one of the Brazilian players is off his horse. Now, here he goes. Garcia for Brazil on the attack. Diego Solzano looks over his shoulder and says, there's no one here. He can't believe his luck. 30 seconds left on the clock. Big play required now. Can Brazil put this one through, or will the might of Carlos Gracida keep the ball out? If we get one unlucky foul,
and I think
this could be victory for Brazil.
And it looks like it was just that, a foul on Carlos Gracida. With William Rodriguez claiming possession, you can see.
Yeah, I think Carlos had to let him play that ball. And Carlos is giving plenty of advice to the umpires.
But with just 19 seconds remaining on the clock, it's a penalty shot for Brazil. The score tied at 5 apiece. And this could be very unlucky for Mexico.
Oh, another nail biter. But again, these teams so closely matched in this competition, and sometimes you could, when you go to visiting host nations, you can get a bad string of ponies, and you can say, oh, we got beaten by big margins because their horses weren't as good as the others, or that sort of thing can happen at any stage. But the scores here have been representative of how good this surface has been and how good these horses have been. Like, it's been a very, very even competition.
William Rodriguez to take the penalty, defend it against.
And they've got it. Brazil get it. And I don't think there's going to be enough time on the clock now, but I can tell you Carlos Gracida is going to use up every second of this clock to try and get this ball up there. Solzano comes around behind Rodriguez. He's got about 2 seconds. I don't think they're going to do it, Mexico. They are really trying. The hooter has gone. The Brazilians have thrown the mallets in the air. They are ecstatic. And Brazil have taken it.
Brazil defeating Mexico 6-5 in a nail-biter in the second quarterfinal with the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup, and certainly the very emotional win for Brazil.
Oh, they are very, very passionate. And let's not forget, Tori, when that penalty was created at the far end of the field, probably one of their better players, Junqueira, was off his horse. GTS had slipped at the far end, and he was actually off the ground. So, yeah, but there's the replay there of Carlos, because he got some wood on it, but probably not enough. You see there on Carlos's mallet, he's actually taped a little bit of terry toweling material so that when he hits that ball, it actually goes more true. It travels more straight.
And is that legal?
It's legal. So in the snow polo, he is. But look at that. There's the score. It tells the story, and there's the fans of Brazil. 6 goals.